What's up, guys and gals? So-called Bigfoot here with just strange stories and weird shit. So today, I'm talking about the elk hunter. So, the story took place sometime in the 2000s. This gentleman who we're gonna call Greg was an ex-military. I believe he was a Green Beret or Ranger or something of that nature. So this guy was, tough as nails type of guy. Didn't take anyone's shit, but was humble at least. So he decides to go hunting sometime in October, and goes into Indian Peak National Forest in Colorado, parks his car, and hikes in about 8 miles to his campsite. He goes in, pitches his tent, cooks dinner, and calls it a night because he's gonna get up early the next day to go set up his blind. So he gets up early around 5 o'clock in the morning, hikes a mile away from his campground, and sets up his blind in a tree, obviously, and sets it a good 50 feet away from a meadow, so you can get a good view of the elk if they go into this meadow. So for those of you that go hunting, know that hunting is a waiting game. So while waiting 5 hours or even more for elk to appear, he's enjoying his breakfast, his coffee, and listening to the sounds of nature. So a couple hours pass, and finally a group of elk go into the open meadow, and he locks eyes with this one elk that's a monarch. I believe that's the proper name for them. It has like 8 antlers, which is apparently rare. And he sets up his shot, removes the safety, and aims for in between the neck and the spine, so the elk dies instantly and without any pain. So shoots, fires, the elk drops. He quickly gets out of his blind and starts heading out towards the open field and leaves back his rifle, which at some point I think he regretted. So he goes down, starts walking towards the field. He notices that there's another elk with it, and he finds it strange because he's getting closer and the elk isn't moving. He's just sitting there, nudging it somehow. So as he gets closer, he finally locks eyes with its glass eyes, is what he said. And that something was strange about it. Because prior to walking to the point where the elk was at, he said it was really quiet. And that normally after a gunshot that's normal, but that it just took it extra long. For those of you that know, usually when it goes quiet or silent, it means that there's like a predator or something's big moving around there. So he finally gets close to it, and he notices that the closer he gets, he notices that something strangely off about this elk. And the closer he gets to it, to the point where he could clearly see it, he locks eyes with it, and something weird happens to him. That he says that it looked like it was a person standing up with an elk head. Like someone put on a fucking elk head on his body, but that its legs were bent. So he said this thing stood like about 8 feet tall without the antlers, and that something just really bothered him, and he found it really strange, and the sense of just to turn around and run. And I don't think this man has ever run away from anything, but that day he ran past his blind, ran past his $4,000 rifle, and just kept on heading towards his campground, which was a mile away from where his blind was set up. So he goes, and he knows he's running out of time, like I do. I have maybe like 2-3 hours of daylight, so he knows he's forced to stay there, and spends the night on the mountain, freaked out by all the noises and wind and everything out here. If you're out here in the night, you'll you'll hear a bunch of shit and all type of paranormal stuff if you believe in it. So he's, terrified about all the noises about being out there and just sitting there thinking about it and sleeping. Doesn't really sleep. So 5 o'clock in the morning, as soon as daylight pops, he goes back, gets his blind, gets his gun, and heads the fuck out of there. 8 miles back to his car. Gentleman, Greg, said that to this day, he has not gone hunting at all. And that just something happened to him that he said to respect the forest, respect whatever is out here, to respect it. I don't know what to think. I mean, it's kind of strange, weird. I mean, he said it looked kind of human. I don't know. Anyways, comment down below, share, like, dislike. Tell me what you guys think. Share your strange forest stories with me, and I might just make a story about them. Anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe, guys and gals. Enjoy this beauty.